Hi, everybody. Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes, and it's brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York, in Southwest Suffolk County on Long Island. And with winter, every day we're one day closer to spring, less than 40 days left, and they've got mulch, they've got salt in case we ever get any snow, and they've got sand and topsoil too. So head over to Omni, especially if you're a landscaper and you need it for size. They can supply you. 631-756-1125 with the is the phone number with the best prices in town. OmniTrueValue.com is the website. So a couple of standouts here on the satellite view. One is the fact that the weather across the Northeast today and into the northern mid-Atlantic states was a really nice day. It was colder than yesterday, technically speaking, but still milder than normal. We were in the 40s, and we're starting to see some high clouds spreading up through Virginia and North Carolina. If you look at the rotation here that's going on in Mississippi, that is the upper low. It's a very vigorous upper air system that is moving eastward, and that is going to actually produce some snow in the southern Appalachians before it's all said and done. And as far as this particular system is concerned, just to point out the fact that this is primarily going to be an elevation-driven event for the Carolina Mountains, maybe into northeast Georgia, and then going northeast. It's very localized. So the higher tops, the higher elevations above, say, 2,000 feet, there'll be a narrow band of 6 inches plus in some areas. But then again, in the valleys, there'll probably be a mix or even just rain. And that little extension goes into southwestern Virginia to about the Kentucky border. I've got the blue line indicating where there could be a mix or a coating to maybe a couple of inches, again, mainly above 1,500 to 2,000 feet. And that will probably extend up into parts of northwest Virginia, maybe as far north or just a little bit further north than Harrisonburg, and also in eastern West Virginia. And that's about it when it comes to snow, folks. Here's what's going on the radar, and that's a pretty impressive upper low. You can see that big red area of heavy downpours in central Mississippi. That's moving east. We have a cold front crossing Florida, and that's producing showers and some thunderstorms and even some flash flooding in parts of southern Georgia. And the heavier rains are starting to move toward northern Georgia and in through South Carolina. Meanwhile, the radars from Maine down into Virginia, absolutely quiet. And I think they should predominantly stay quiet, particularly in the Northeast, for much of the day tomorrow. I don't see any real problems with rain, so if you have outdoor plans for Sunday, I think you can go ahead with them. It's Sunday night into Monday morning that we might see a little bit of rain. There's a surface low in the northeastern Gulf of Mexico. There's no real cold air. When you look at the temperatures at 2 o'clock this afternoon, they were mostly in the 40s, just a few places further north. You see some 30s in there, but there's no real cold air. If there was some kind of cold high sitting in the northeast where that cold air would have drained southward, probably we would be having a different conversation. So rainfall amounts from this particular system, you could see the sharp cutoff. Northern New Jersey not forecast to get anything. Neither is northeastern Pennsylvania or the Hudson Valley. Talking about less than a tenth of an inch in parts of southeastern Connecticut and Rhode Island. The quarter of an inch line cuts across central New Jersey into southeast PA, half an inch into southern New Jersey, about an inch right near the coast, and then you've got 1 inch plus rainfalls down into Virginia and North Carolina, and of course in the mountains, it's again in the higher elevations above 2,000 feet. We're looking at snow, and there's the extent of the probability of at least 2 inches by WPC, a 50% or higher probability in the western Carolina mountains and on up into southwestern Virginia. And as we look ahead to this week, Tuesday into Wednesday, the southwest, Colorado, Utah into Arizona, high probabilities of at least a few inches, 90% or higher in the red areas. And as we look into the eastern part of the United States, at least moving along in the middle part for Wednesday into Thursday, seeing a high probability of at least a few inches from eastern Colorado northeastward into western Iowa. Friday, Saturday, the east, absolutely nothing as far as snow is concerned. In fact, the big highlight this week could be Thursday, when I think we have a shot here. These are some of the early forecast highs from the Weather Service, with many areas in the middle 60s. And that extends all the way up into southern and southeastern New England. South-facing shorelines will be cooler because the wind will be coming in off the ocean. However, depending on how much sun we get, it would not be a shock to me if we see temperatures on Thursday of this coming week approach 70 degrees. So as far as the upper air pattern is concerned, it's really more of the same. There's that upper low to the south, gets ejected almost straight east before it lifts northward south of Nova Scotia, which is why you're not going to see any rain spreading all the way up the coast. There's another strong cutoff low dropping down into the southwest. That's the snow that you saw on the long-range forecast. And as we look ahead to this week, a nice big ridge builds into the eastern states for Tuesday and Wednesday, and then on Thursday we'll probably get a cold front to come on through. Might turn a little colder behind that for a day or so, and then it's back to that same old ridge position with westerly winds aloft, troughing down in the western part of the United States. And this, by the way, in the long range carries us through almost right to the end of the month. Just at the very end, we see some kind of trough in the eastern part of the United States with some colder air. I don't even know if that's right. So at least for now, the trend is your friend. The more things change, the more they stay the same. This has been an absolutely unrelenting weather pattern that we have been in for so long. And eventually all patterns break down. This one should start to break down as we go into the month of March. There's your low for tomorrow. Low pressure right along the North Carolina coast. You see the minimal amount of blue there in the mountains tomorrow morning in western Virginia, western North Carolina. The low just kind of grazes New Jersey, southern New England, and southeastern New England and goes out. Monday should be a nice day overall. Northwest wind, temperatures in the 40s. Will be in the 50s on Tuesday. Start to get up closer to 60 on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, with a cold front approaching and a strong southwest flow, that's the day where we could see record highs. Friday, we'll get a cold front through here, and that'll bring some showers, followed by a quick shot of colder, drier air for next weekend. No snow in sight, folks. No snow in sight. Weather in 5, brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York. 631-756-1125 is the phone number, and the website, omnitruevalue.com. So tune in tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time right here on my YouTube channel for the Joe and Joe Weather Show at 11 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hope you got a Super Bowl party that you're going to, or you have one planned, and I hope it goes well.